velocity as a continuous function of time, or motion as a continuous function of time. Suppose you are having displacement is changing continuously with time. How it is changing? How displacement is changing with time? As we know that when it is changing continuously, when it is changing continuously, so what you can write? You can write velocity equals to dx by dt, and acceleration equals to what? D square x by dt square, means differentiation of x 2 times. Remember, this you will get by differentiating x 2 times. Okay, so this is what velocity and this is what acceleration. Okay, so one time differentiation. Suppose you are having the displacement, you differentiate, what you will get? You will get velocity. Okay, again differentiate, what you will get? You will get acceleration. Okay, so this fundamental we should know. Okay, so how they will give the problem? Suppose displacement is varying with time. How it is varying? Say it is varying with time like say it is varying with time, say t raised to q. Okay, so now if they ask you to calculate what is the velocity, if they say find the velocity, so how we can calculate? S is what? S is displacement, or you can take x also, no problem. Either you can take x or you can take x, no problem. Okay, so if you want to calculate velocity, what you have to do? You have to differentiate one time. So if you one time differentiate, what you will get? You will get velocity. So ds by dt is equals to what is this? T raised to n. T raised to n is what? N into t raised to n minus 1. Difference of t raised to n is n into t raised to n minus 1. N equals to what? 3. 3 into t raised to 3 minus 1. N into t raised to n minus 1. T raised to n. Okay, so n is equals to 3. So ds by dt is equals to 3 into t raised to 3 minus 1 is what? 2. So this is what? Velocity. So velocity is what? Velocity is 3 into t square. Okay. Now they will say for the same problem, find velocity when t equals to 1. Find velocity when t equals to 1. Now what you have to do? You just substitute t equals to 1 here. What it will become? 1 the square is 1, so v equals to 3. So that we will see later. As of now, you just remember like this. Okay. Or if I take one more example, s equals to, so say it is a t square plus b into t. So find velocity. So how we can calculate? Velocity equals to what? ds by dt or dx by dt, whatever. You have to differentiate one time. So ds by dt is equals to, a is what? A is constant. Okay, so a you take outside. So differentiation of t square. Difference of t square is 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1. N into t raised to n minus 1. Okay. So plus b is constant, right, as it is. T raised to nothing is there means what? 1 is there. So 1 into t raised to 1 minus 1. 1 into t raised to 1 minus 1. Okay. So now ds by dt is equals to 2e. Can I write 2e? So 2e. T raised to 2 minus 1. So t raised to 2 minus 1 is t raised to 1. Okay. So plus b into 1 is right as it is, so no need to write also. So t raised to 1 minus 1 is what? 0. So ds by dt is equals to 2a into t plus b. T raised to 0 is what? T raised to 0 is 1. So this is become b. Okay. So velocity equals to 2at plus b. Velocity is equals to 2at plus b. Okay. These are what the simple examples. I will take one more simple example. S equals to, say, little different. So say it is say some 3t square plus 2t. 3t square plus 2t. What is the question? Question is find velocity at t equals to 1 second. Find velocity at t equals to 1 second. So only this much extra is coming here in this problem. Okay. So how to do that? Then we know that velocity is equals to what? Velocity is ds by dt. Okay. So differentiate. S ds by dt is equals to 3 is constant, write 3 as it is. T square 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1. N is what? 2. N into t raised to n minus 1. Okay. Plus 2 right as it is constant. T raised to nothing is there means what? 1 is there. So 1 into t raised to 1 minus 1. Okay. So ds by dt equals to 3 into 2 6. T raised to 2 minus 1 is what? T raised to 1 plus 2. T raised to 1 minus 1 is what? T raised to 0. So ds by dt is equals to 6t plus t raised to 0 is what? 1. So what you can write? What you can write? Simply you can write 2. 2 into 1 is what? 2 only. Okay. So this is what velocity. So velocity equals to 6t plus 2. This is the general velocity, but what they are asking, find velocity at t equals to 1. So what you have to do now? So velocity at t equals to 1 means what? Substitute 1 wherever t is there. Substitute 1 wherever t is there. Okay. So v equals to 6 into t equals to what? 1. So substitute 1 here. T is there. So substitute 1 plus 2. T is not there, so no need to substitute. So what you will get? You will get 6 into 1 is 6. So 6 plus 2 equals to 8. What is the unit? Meter per second. This much. Differentiate. You will get general velocity. Substitute whatever time they have given. Substitute whatever time they have given. Okay. So this is what how you can calculate the velocity from the given distance or displacement in terms of time. Okay. So if I take another example, so what I can write? S equals to say a into t cube plus b into t square. Okay. So find velocity at what? At t equals to 1. Find velocity at t equals to 1. At t equals to 1 where a equals to say 2 and b equals to 1. A and b are constant, so they are given a and b values also. Okay. So question little looks complicated but very simple. So what you have to find? You have to find velocity. So what you can write? Velocity equals to ds by dt. So ds by dt is equals to a is constant, write a as it is, t raised to q 3 into t raised to 3 minus 1. You can directly write a 3 into t raised to 2. Okay. So next plus b constant t raised to 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1. So a into 3 t raised to 3 minus 1 will become t square plus b into 2 will become what? 2b. T raised to 2 minus 1 will become what? Simple t. So this is what ds by dt. So you can write as 3a t square plus 2bt. This is what the general velocity. What next they are saying? At t equals to 1. So at t equals to 1 means what? Substitute 1 wherever t is there. Okay. So v equals to 3a t equals to 1. square is there, x square, plus 2b t equals to 1, substitute 1. Okay, so velocity equals to 3a 1 raised to 2. 1 the square is what? 1 only, so no need to worry about that one. Plus 2b into 1 is what? 2b only. So this is what the velocity. But still you are not getting the what number. What they are saying next, where a is 2, b is 1. Substitute that one. So substitute a equals to 2 and b equals to 1. A equals to 2, b equals to 1. What you are having? You are having b equals to 3a. So you are having 3a plus 2b. 3a plus 2b. So substitute b equals to 3. What is a? A is 2 plus 2 into what is b? B is 1. So velocity equals to 3 into 2, 6 plus 2 into 1, 2. So v equals to 8 meter per second. This is what the velocity you are going to get. Okay. So simple examples. Practice. You can take your own examples and practice. You will get it. So next example, very simple example. So s equals to what is given? Given is a 5 into t raised to q. 5 into t raised to 3. Okay. Only this much, not plus or something. Question is little extended. Find velocity and acceleration. Find velocity and acceleration. Find velocity and acceleration. So one more extra they are asking. S equals to 5t cube. Find velocity and acceleration. Okay. So what you can do here? First we have to find velocity. So to find velocity, what you have to do? You have to find ds by dt. You have to find ds by dt means what? You have to differentiate s one time. Okay. So ds by dt is equals to 5 is constant, so no need to worry about 5. T raised to q. T raised to n into t raised to n minus 1. So t raised to 3. So n equals to what? N equals to 3. So substitute 3 over here. So 3 into t raised to 3 minus 1. 3 into t raised to 3 minus 1. So 5 into 3. T raised to 3 minus 1 is what? 2. So ds by dt. ds by dt is what? 3 into 5 is what? 15. 15 t square. 15 t square is what? Velocity. So velocity equals to 15 t square. This is what? Velocity. So velocity equals to v equals to 15 t square meter per second. Okay. So now if you want to find acceleration, what you have to do? You have to differentiate this one more time. Because what is acceleration? Acceleration is dv by dt. Velocity is here. V is what? 15 t square. So differentiate this once again. So v equals to what you got? You got 15 t square. V equals to 15 t square. So what do you want? dv by dt. So dv by dt is 15, write as it is constant. 15, write as it is constant. Don't get confused. From here this v came. This v came from here only. You only calculate from s to v. Now you want from v to a. So 15, write as it is. T square, what you can write? 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1. 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1. So dv by dt is equals to 15 into 2 is what? 30. T raised to 2 minus 1 is what? T raised to 1. So dv by dt, what you got? dv by dt you got 30t. dv by dt means what? Acceleration. So acceleration is 30t. So acceleration is what? 30t. Because a is what? dv by dt. So you can get the what? Acceleration as 30t. So next example, s equals to say we can write it as say 3, instead of 3 we will take 2. Okay, so 2 t cube plus 3 t square. 2 t cube plus 3 t square. What they are asking? Find velocity and acceleration. Find velocity and acceleration at t equals to 1 second. Both they are asking. They are asking velocity and acceleration as well. So what you have to do? For velocity, ds by dt. Okay, so first do ds by dt. ds by dt is 2 is constant, depreciation of t cube 3 into t raised to 3 minus 1 plus 3 write as it is t square, depreciation of t square is 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1. Okay, so what you can write? 2 into 3, 6 t square plus 3 into 2, 6 t raised to 2 minus 1 is what? 1. So ds by dt. Okay, so ds by dt is what? Velocity. So velocity equals to 6 t square plus 60. This was general. At t equals to, this is what general, at t equals to 1 second. So substitute 1 wherever t is there. V equals to 6 1 the square plus 6 1 right as it is. Okay, so velocity equals to 6 1 the square is 1 plus 6. So velocity is what? 12 meter per second. 12 meter per second. You have to write unit also. Okay, so now acceleration. Acceleration is what? Acceleration is dv by dt. Very, very important. Listen here. Now you don't take this as velocity. This is a velocity when t equals to 1 second. Generally you have to take v equals to 6t square plus 6t. Okay, so v equals to 6t square plus 6t. Okay, am I right or wrong? Okay, right. So now what do you want? You want dv by dt. So dv by dt is equals to 6 right as it is t square 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1 plus 6 into t raised to 1 means 1 into t raised to 1 minus 1. dv by dt is equals to 12 into 6 raised to 2 minus 1 means what? 1. So t raised to 1 plus 6 right as it is. 6 into 1 is 6. So t raised to 1 minus 1 is what? T raised to 0. So dv by dt is equals to 12t plus 6. T raised to 0 is what? T raised to 0 is 1. So this will become 6. So acceleration is what? Acceleration is 12t plus 6. 12t plus 6. Okay. Now they are asking acceleration at t equals to 1. So at t equals to 1 second. So what you can write? Acceleration is equals to 12 into, substitute wherever t is there, 1. So 12 into 1 plus 6. Here t is not there, so no need to worry about that one. So a equals to 12 into 1 is 12 plus 6. So a equals to, this will become 18 meter per second square. 18 meter per second square. Okay, so this is what, how you can calculate the velocity and acceleration when they are given the equation of displacement, which is the variable of time t. So one more very important difference I have to tell you. This v equals to dx by dt. What it is? It is instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity. Okay, so instantaneous velocity. Now v equals to, this is what? x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. This is what? Average velocity, means total distance divided by total time. Okay, so total distance covered divided by total time, or you can simply write delta t by delta x by delta t. Here time is not small. Here time is not small. This is what the average velocity. This is what the average velocity. Or what is delta x here? Delta x is x2 minus x1. Delta t is what? T2 minus t1. This is possible when t1, t2 or x1, x2 is not much small. This is what they are very small because continuously it is changing. Here they are not changing continuously. Okay. So like this also they can ask the question to find the average velocity and to find the instantaneous velocity. Okay. So I will take that kind of an example here. So example I will write it here. Okay. They are given say s equals to 5t square plus 2t. 5t square plus 2t. So what is question? Find instantaneous velocity and average velocity. Find instantaneous velocity and average velocity. What it is over at t equals to say t equals to 1 second and t equals to 2 seconds. Both they are asking. Okay. So first we will go with instantaneous velocity. Okay. So first we will go with instantaneous velocity. Okay. So to find instantaneous velocity, what we have to do? P equals to dx by dt. Okay. So x or s. So s what they are given? Yes, they are given 5t square plus 2t. Okay. So ds by dt is 5 write as it is t square. You can write as 2 into t raised to 2 minus 1 plus 2 into t raised to 1 is there. Nothing is there means 1 into t raised to 1 minus 1. Okay. So ds by dt equals to 5 into 2 10 t raised to 2 minus 1 means 1 plus 2 into 1 into this is what? This is also 1. T raised to 0 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So t raised to 0 is 1. So this is going to be what? 2. So velocity you got, velocity is 10t plus 2. This is what instantaneous velocity. They are asking for 2 times. T equals to 1 and t equals to 2. So for t equals to 1, velocity equals to 10 into 1 plus 2. So velocity equals to 10 plus 2, that is 12 meter per second. 12 meter per second. Now second, for t equals to 2 seconds. So velocity equals to 10 into wherever t is there, substitute 2. So 2 plus 2. So velocity equals to, so 10 into 2, 20 plus 2. So 22 meter per second. Velocity got increased. In first second velocity was 12 meter per second. In second velocity became 22 meter per second. These two are what? These two are instantaneous velocities. Next what they are asking? They are asking average velocity. Average velocity means velocity over t equals to 1 to 2 seconds. Okay. So to find average velocity, so average velocity over what? Average velocity over t equals to 1 to t equals to 2. See how we can calculate this one. Okay. So what you know s equals to so 5t square plus 2t, 5t square plus 2t. Okay. So now what is your average velocity? It is s2 minus s1 divided by t2 minus t1. Don't get confused. x2 minus x1 I am taking s2 minus s1. First I have to find s2. So s2 is what? S2 is displacement or distance. Displacement when t equals to 2. So this is what displacement. So we know that s equals to 5t square plus 2t. Now substitute t equals to 2. So s equals to 5 into 2 the square plus 2 into 2. So what you will get? You will get 2 the square is 4. 4 into 5 will become 20 plus 2 into 2, 4. So this is what 24. Okay, 24 meter displacement. So next S1. S1 is what? Displacement when t equals to 1 second. T equals to 1 second. Okay. So S1, this is what S2. S1 is 5 into 1 the square plus 2 into 1 because t equals to 1. So what you can write? You can write 5, 1 the square is 1 only. So this will become what? 5 plus 2, 7 meter. Okay. What is T1? T1 is 1, T2 is what? 2. So you can take T1 is, you can take it as T1 equals to 1, T2 equals to 2. So velocity equals to S2 minus S1 divided by T2 minus T1. S2 is what? 24. S1 is what? 7 divided by T2 minus T1, 2 minus 1. Okay. So 24 minus 7, what it will become? Will it become 17? 17 divided by 1. So 17 meter per second. See it properly, you are getting average velocity as 17 meter per second, instantaneous velocity is as 22 and 12. They are entirely different. Okay. So this is how we can calculate average velocity and instantaneous velocity when they are given the differential equation. So next I will take your NCERT example, that is example number 3.2, page number 45, example 3.2. Okay. So page number 45, example number 3.2. Okay. So from your NCERT book, if you are having NCERT book, you can refer. Otherwise, people who are not having NCERT book, question is here. The position of an object moving along x-axis is given by x equals to a plus bt square. Okay, where a is 8.5, b is 2.5. What is its velocity? If simply they are asking its velocity, means what? It is the instantaneous velocity. You have to differentiate. At t equals to 0 and t equals to 2 seconds. Here two instantaneous velocities they are asking. Next, what is average velocity between t equals to 2 seconds and 4 seconds. Okay. So two things they are asking here. Actually they are asking three things. So first one, velocity. Okay. Velocity means what? Instantaneous velocity. It is instantaneous velocity. So what is x they have given? X they have given x equals to a plus bt square. So what is instantaneous velocity? V equals to dx by dt. So find dx by dt. Dx by dt is equals to a plus bt square. A is what? A is constant. Listen properly. A is constant. Nothing is there in front of it. So differentiation of a is going to be what? 0. Listen carefully here. Differentiation of a is going to be what? 0 plus. Why difference of a is going to be 0? Because nothing is there after a. Nothing is there after a. So difference of a is going to be 0 plus b, right, as it is. T the square, 2 into 2t raised to 2 minus 1. So this will become 2b into t. T raised to 2 minus 1 is what? T raised to 1. So this is what the velocity. This is what the instantaneous velocity. That is what p equals to 2bt. Okay. Now they are asking what? At t equals to 0 and at t equals to 2 seconds. Okay. So at t equals to 0, at t equals to 0, substitute t 0 here. So v equals to 2b 0. So total it will become what? It will become 0. Okay. So next, at t equals to 2, at t equals to 2, at t equals to 2, this will become what? V equals to 2b into 2. So this will become what? 4 into b. So v equals to 4 into b is what? B is 2.5. B is 2.5. Okay. So b is 2.5. Okay. So what you can write? You will write it as 2.5 into 4. Okay. So this will become what? 10 meter per second. Okay. So this is what the instantaneous velocity. Actually, in your textbook they have given it as uh, 10 meter per second, right? It is 10 meter per second and v equals to 0. Okay, so this is what how you can calculate. One is 0, another is some 10 meter per second. That is what you got in your textbook. Okay, similarly, next is what? Next is average velocity. Okay, so to find average velocity, so next is average velocity between what? Between t equals to 2 and t equals to 4. T equals to 2 and t equals to 4. That means what? T1 is 2, T2 is 4. S is what? They are not given S, they are calling it as X. X is A plus B T square. Okay, so first find X1. X1 means what? Substitute T1. Wherever T is there, substitute T1 equals to 2. X1 is equals to A plus B. T is what? T is 2. So 2 the square. So x1 is equals to A plus 2 the square means what? It is 4. So 4B. This is what x1. So find x2. X2 is substitute 2 equals T equals to 4. So A plus B. So 4 the square. Okay. So 4 the square. So x2 is A plus 4 the square means what? 16. So 16B. Okay. So now velocity is what? x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t. x2 is this one. A plus 16B. Okay. So x1 is what? Minus. x1 is A plus 4B. A plus 4B divided by t2 minus t1. 4 minus 2. So 4 minus 2. Okay. So now plus A minus A will go. Okay. So I will write here A plus 16B minus A. So plus minus 4B divided by 4 minus 2 is what? 2. So plus A minus A will go. So what we can write it as P average is equals to 16B minus 4B. What it will become? It will become 12B divided by 2. So 12B divided by 2. 2 ones are 2 6 are. Okay, so this will become what? 6B. Okay, so V equals to 6B. What is B? B is 2.5. So 2.5. So V equals to what it will become? So 2.5 into 6. 4 means 10. So 6 means it will become 15. 15 meter per second. Okay. So this is what going to be your average velocity. This is what instantaneous velocity at t equals to 2 seconds. This is what instantaneous velocity at t equals to 1 second. Okay. Now t equals to 0. Okay. So this is how you can solve the problems. So this problem is there in your NCERT book, page number 45, example number 3.2. Okay. So answer they got is also 15 meter per second. So practice these kind of problems.